Welcome back. I'm Michael Bull, and this is the Commercial Real Estate Show where we always have fun, right? We're talking about the U.S. office market today. My next guest is Sean Williams. Sean is VP of the National Office Group with Bull Realty. Sean, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Well, Sean, we've heard that the office market is improving. It's a little bit more of a landlord's market. You're out there every day leasing office space. So what do you see?
Well, if we look at Atlanta for an example, since 2009 and 10, when the vacancy rates in Atlanta were about 18%, today they're about 14%. So the market has shifted and sort of reached a point of equilibrium. So I think we've seen the landlord concessions reduced, and it's a little bit more of a equilibrium for the tenants and the landlords.
Right. And I guess there's still some deals to be had, and it depends on the strength of the tenant and the actual building. But to give us some ideas, I mean, sometimes the deal's in the eye of the beholder, too. So you used Atlanta as an example. What are your Class A rental rates there as compared to the country overall?
Sure. Well, Atlanta Class A average rate is about $24 a square foot, and that's across all submarkets. And you compare that to the national average of 29 average for Class A office. Atlanta's a really good deal when you look at the bottom line cost for office expenses.
Right. We're here in Studio One in Atlanta. Come see us, right? Well, let's talk about something that's near and dear to a landlord's heart in the office market, and that is finding more tenants, increasing their NOI in their buildings. What would be a tip that you would leave our listeners with related to landlords about leasing space?
Well, I would just suggest that the landlord look at who they're using, the firm that they're using to represent their building. They want a proactive, aggressive firm that's going to go after the best tenants for their building and do a job, the best job of following up with those prospects and also making sure that their compensation for the brokers, both their representative and the tenant rep brokers, is a fair market compensation package for those deals.
Right, that's a good point. I mean, you want to have a very proactive person on the landlord side, and sometimes I know when I'm repping tenants, sometimes I'll see the landlord reps, whether they're in-house or third party, be a little lackadaisical, and maybe a compensation package or something where they're just more proactive. Well, what about a tip for tenants in the marketplace?
Well, tenants, I think they need to start looking at least a year before their lease is expiring. Most tenants, or many tenants, I think, make the mistake of waiting too late in the term. They think, we've got time. What they do is they reduce their leverage in a deal by giving landlords the upper hand, and they also can reduce the choices that they have for office space. So I just would suggest that they start looking and actually engage a tenant broker to help them find the best office space.
Right. So whatever city you're in, if you're looking at the office market, obviously there's brokers who just represent tenants, and they specialize in the office market, and the guys like you that have incredible knowledge in those markets. So tenants aren't getting as good at deals as they used to, right? So they really have to start a lot earlier because of that as well, right? There's less opportunities.
Yeah, start earlier, and then make sure that you engage a professional to help you. People that do this every day of their life for a living, they just have the experience to make sure that you're not overlooking something, and you just want to make sure that you leave yourself enough time to get the best deal.
Yeah, well, that's well said. I think you want to have a good lawyer who's experienced with office leases. You want to have a good tenant rep, let them work together, because they're going to have some things coming down the pike later years that you might not think of. Well, Sean, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you being here in Studio One.
My pleasure.
And thanks for joining us out there on the 40 radio stations, YouTube, and iTunes. And be sure to join us next week. We'll look at the retail industry, and we'll look at retail real estate. The retail market has been a changing environment. The investment market is really heated up. Tenants are starting to move again, so you don't want to miss that. And don't miss a show of special interest to you on any topic. Sign up for a once-a-week email announcing the show topic at commercialrealestateshow.com. Until next week, be sure that you always lead, learn, and laugh, and join us for the Commercial Real Estate Show. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty Commercial Advisors, a great place to do business. Visit bullrealty.com. RealNex, a comprehensive and powerful suite of commercial real estate tools at an incredibly low price. Visit realnex.com. That's REALNEX. FIU, Florida International University. Earn your master's in real estate in as little as 10 months without interrupting your career. Visit FIUonline.com. Xceligent, the resource professionals use for commercial real estate information. Visit xceligent.com. That's XCELIGENT. Commercial Search, the source to market and source available properties for sale or lease. Visit commercialsearch.com. For more information on these great companies or for additional videos, podcasts, or articles, visit CREshow.com.